Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Town of Grand Falls-Windsor Council meeting for Tuesday, January 20th. Without any further ado, I will call the meeting to order. And I'll ask for the motion to adopt the agenda, please. Councillor Hiscock, can I get a seconder? All in favor with the adoption of the agenda for tonight's meeting? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is carried. We do have one proclamation tonight, and I will read that now. January is Crime Stoppers Month in the Exploits Valley, and whereas Newfoundland and Labrador Crime Stoppers is a community-based program and registered incorporated charitable organization that brings the public, the media, and law enforcement agencies together in a cooperative effort to help solve crime. And whereas Newfoundland and Labrador Crime Stoppers and its volunteers from all regions of the province are celebrating over 30 years of dedicated service to the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. And whereas since 1992, Newfoundland and Labrador Crime Stoppers has provided citizens of the province with a vehicle to anonymously provide information about a crime or potential crime of which they have knowledge. Now, therefore, we, the Town of Grand Falls-Windsor, proclaim January 2026 to be Crime Stoppers Month. We urge all citizens to support the initiatives and mandate of Newfoundland and Labrador Crime Stoppers through volunteering and providing information to solve and prevent crimes, helping to build a safer and stronger province. So I proclaim January as Crime Stoppers Month in the Exploits Valley. And I'll sign the proclamation. And I will add that tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock, we will have the flag raising ceremony here at the Town Hall. So all hands are invited for that occasion. Okay, we'll need a resolution for the adoption of the minutes from December 22nd, 2025. Councillor James, thank you. Can I get a seconder? Councillor Feener? Thank you. Any errors or omissions? No errors or omissions? All in favor of the adoption of the minutes from December 22nd? Aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried. Any business arising out of the minutes? There being none, we'll move on to the first item on our agenda tonight is item number 8, Public Works and Development, and I'll call in Councillor Feener, please.
Mayor, Council reviewed a proposed plan for public messaging on the upcoming implementation of orthophosphate at the Exploits Regional Water Treatment Plant. Discussion? Okay. As part of the town's ongoing commitment to maintaining high-quality drinking water, the Exploits Regional Water Treatment Plant will soon introduce orthophosphate into the water treatment process. This is a proven and widely used corrosion control method in municipal systems across North America and is recognized as the best available technology for protecting both water infrastructure and public health. In December 2024, the Department of Environment and Climate Change Water Resource Management Division granted the town a permit to install and operate a new orthophosphate mixing and dosing system. The authorization confirms that the project meets all provincial safety and regulatory standards, representing other important step in maintaining compliance with the public trust. Orthophosphate is a certified food-grade additive used to form a microscopic protective film on the inside of pipes and plumbing. This layer helps prevent corrosion, thereby reducing the release of metals such as iron and lead into drinking water. The product selected for use will comply with NSF, ANS, CNN 60 drinking water treatment chemicals, health effects standards, which defines the minimum health safety requirements for chemicals directly added to drinking water. Their certification is mandatory in Newfoundland and Labrador and ensures that all additives meet rigorous health and dosing criteria below established safety thresholds. While the town's primary goal is to address iron corrosion and discolored water, orthophosphate application will also provide additional public health benefits by reducing the potential for lead release from older household plumbing. Implementation is being coordinated by the support of CBCL Limited and is planned to begin by the end of 2025. Once the new system is operational, residents will not see instant results. The protective coating takes time to develop, and the full benefits, clearer water, fewer discoloration events, and reduced flushing are expected to become evident within the next 6 months. And I'd also like to add that the startup date for us, Mr. Mayor, will be sometime in February, and that depends now on the contractor's schedule.
Thank you, Councillor Feener. Any more comments or discussion with respect to orthophosphate? Okay, we'll add that in the coming weeks we will send all residents of Grand Falls-Windsor a pamphlet with respect to, and Councillor Cody informs me she got hers today. With respect to orthophosphate, it's not foreign for municipalities across the country to be using orthophosphate, and it's another project of ours to help combat the discolored water, which has been a continuous issue for the people of Grand Falls-Windsor in some areas of Grand Falls-Windsor over the last few years. The city of Corner Brook has been using orthophosphate for quite some time now, with much success, I might add. So the people of Grand Falls can look forward to that, and like I said, this is just part of the millions of dollars we're spending in the next year or two to help our water system here in Grand Falls-Windsor, and the residents will see a difference. Any more comments or discussion on that? Go ahead.
I just wanted to commend Robin on the job that she did with the information. I think it answers a lot of questions that citizens had, and hopefully that'll answer their questions and relieve them of some of the worries or concerns that they had. But if not, they can certainly still reach out to council or to the town office to answer any questions that they may have.
Yeah, we certainly can reach out. Thank you, Councillor Hollett. And with respect to orthophosphate or any other issue that I would like to discuss, they can call any of the council at any time, and we'll answer the questions for you. Okay, thank you, Councillor Feener, for that information note. We'll move on now to item number 9.1. With respect to Public Works and Development, Planning and Development, I'll call on Councillor Hiscock, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Direction is required from council to authorize the commencement of public consultation in accordance with Section 14 of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000 for the proposed municipal plan and development regulations amendments. And I propose that council approve proceeding with public consultation in accordance with Section 14 of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000 for Municipal Plan Amendment Number 13, 2026, and Development Regulations Amendment Number 18, 2026.
Thank you, Councillor Hiscock. Can I have a seconder for Councillor Hiscock's resolution, please? Deputy Mayor Bennett, thank you. Any more discussion with respect to Councillor Hiscock's resolution? Councillor Hiscock.
Yeah, Mayor, this is council considering Municipal Plan Amendment Number 13, 2026, and the associated Development Regulations Amendment Number 18, 2026, which together propose to redesignate and rezone lands located between the Trans-Canada Highway and Grenfell Heights west of the existing comprehensive development area. And the intent of these amendments, Mayor, is to support the town's long-term objectives for the development of a civic center and associated commercial uses, including complementary developments such as retail services and related amenities with appropriate accessing and parking.
Thank you, Councillor Hiscock. Any more discussion or comments with respect to Councillor Hiscock's resolution? There being, yes, Councillor James.
Wanted to probably reassure myself as well that in this whole process, I think it's important that people, myself and Councillor Hiscock talked about this, you have to understand that council must first authorize public consultation to allow residents, stakeholders, and agencies the opportunity to review and provide input before the amendments advance to adoption. I think that's a very key proponent in this whole particular process. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor James, and you are correct. The public will get many opportunities to have some input on the proposed new civic center, and also the proposed piece of land that it may or may not lie on when it's all said and done. Any more comments or discussion with respect to Councillor Hiscock's resolution? There being none, all in favour? Oh, sorry, Councillor Hollett.
In regard to the Civic Center, as was just stated, the decision has not been finalized that that is the location. Is that correct? Correct. And there is information on the town's website that citizens can access. So is there any way that we can probably put a link on the Facebook page to direct them to the town's website for the information in regards to the proposed civic center? Because I think that citizens have a lot of questions in regards to this, and I think the information that is available on the town's website is a little difficult to find. So I think if we provided them with a direct link and from Facebook, I think it would assist people in getting in there and seeing what information is there, and that it's still in the preliminary stages and it's just being proposed at this point.
And we're so fortunate to get federal or provincial government funding for the new community civic center. And this area of land where Councillor Hiscock has proposed is a good piece of land. We don't know if it is yet or not. And then that's where it will go, I suspect. But like I said, much public input coming with respect to the proposed new community center in the coming months and years. Okay, we got a resolution on the floor and I have a seconder. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is carried. Item number 9.2. Councillor Hiscock, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Council approval will proceed with the application to the Provincial Crown Lands Division to acquire approximately 10.4 hectares of Crown land off of New Bay Road for the development of a future community cemetery. And I propose that Council approve the Town of Grand Falls-Windsor to apply for Crown land located off New Bay Road, approximately 10.4 hectares, for the purpose of securing land for a future community cemetery, including areas of traditional burials, cremation and acclimation urns, and columbarium installations.
Thank you, Councillor Hiscock. Can I get a seconder, please, for Councillor Hiscock's? Councillor Janes. Thank you. Any discussion with respect to the proposed amendment?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, this is an ongoing thing that the town of Grand Falls-Windsor has been looking into a number of years because some of our existing cemeteries within the boundaries of Grand Falls-Windsor are close to their due date, we say, with regards to their availability for burials. We've been looking at this for a couple of years. We looked at the land down on New Bay Road as a viable area. Now, right now, some of the cemeteries are still good owners 10 to 15 years, but this is something that we're looking at in the future. So we want to start work on this in advance of that, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Hiscock. Any more discussion? Deputy Mayor Bennett, please.
Thank you, Mayor. This was discussed when I served on council previously, and I just feel that this is too far out of town. We have a lot more piece of land here in town. We discussed off Tulet Drive. There's lots of land down there. We can certainly put this cemetery. I just feel that it's just too far out of town that we could, I mean, for the citizens to go visit their relatives down there, and you know, off Tulet Drive it would be so much more centered in town, and the rest of the cemeteries are in the center of town. So I mean, I don't see why we should not just look at New Bay Road, but we should also look at the Tulet Drive area that we can certainly put a cemetery, which will be more centered here in town. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Bennett. And that's right, this is not carved in stone, as you noted. This is just a proposed resolution. And go ahead, Councillor Hiscock.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. With all due respect and everything, I remember when the cemeteries in Caribou Road, when I was a little boy growing up, that was a long ways outside of town. And on Union Street, up at the top of Union Street, the one we're using now, the Interfaith Cemetery, that was a long way outside of town. So the evolution and the growth of Grand Falls-Windsor is, you know, this is what we're looking at. And as you said, Mr. Mayor, this is not cut in stone. This is property that we're looking at getting. So we got to start in advance of getting this from Crown Lands with the proposal of using it. And as the Deputy Mayor said, if there's more land that's a little bit readily available, like most of the land off of Tulet Drive, I'd like to see earmarked for development otherwise, be it residential and or commercial. But this is something that, like I said, is not cut in stone, something that we can definitely look at. But I would like for the town of Grand Falls-Windsor right now to start the ball rolling to make amendments or to start the construction or whatever may need to be. Like I said, we're still good for another few years yet. So this is something I think we should start working on just in case. Thank you.
And like I said, it is proposed, and we'll certainly work with the churches on this. We'll meet with all those individual churches here in Grand Falls-Windsor and get your opinion on this as well before we make any moves. So, anybody else got any comments or discussion with respect to the proposed?
I just want clarification, I guess, and more for the citizens. So this would be a town-owned, it would not be owned by any denominations, it would be a town-owned cemetery.
That's right. And all denominations would be in this area. All churches would have space in this new proposed graveyard site.
So the town would actually do the administration and the maintenance and everything on this cemetery?
In conjunction with the cemetery committee and all the churches, we would do that for sure.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, just speak to you, through you, to Councillor Hollett. The town of Gander's been doing this for a number of years. And anybody gets a chance to go to Gander, you can go out there and have a look at it, talk to the crew, they're great guys. In summertime be a good time, because then you can see exactly what's going on. It's be non-denominational, so as per se, it won't be sections like, it could be Salvation Army, Pentecostal, Catholic, you know what I mean? So, and to be run, and these, the crew in Gander, open and close the graves, they do everything, and they say where the person's going, and even for the monument installations, they make sure everything is in correct order. So I think it'll be an advancement for us, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you,
thank you,
Councillor
Mayor.
Scott. Thank you. Okay, any more discussion or comments? Got a resolution, I got a mover and a seconder. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution's carried. Item number 9.3. Councillor Hiscock again, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Council direction is required to confirm the revocation of occupancy permit for the property located at 4 Coronation Street, and to authorize staff to proceed with enforcement and remedial action in accordance with application legislation. And I propose that council approve the revocation of the occupancy permit for the property located at 4 Coronation Street due to non-compliance with the town of Grand Falls-Windsor development regulations, the occupancy and maintenance regulations under the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, and the Towns and Local Service Districts Act, and further direct staff to proceed with enforcement actions as permitted under applicable legislation.
Thank you, Councillor Hiscock. Can I get a seconder for the resolution, please? Councillor Feener. Thank you. Any discussion with respect to Councillor Hiscock's resolution? Councillor Hiscock, please.
That property that we're speaking about now, over the last number of years, has been a number of complaints and non-compliances with that property. And when we had done a property inspection conducted in October of 2025, identified multiple deficiencies, including unsafe deck, stair conditions, broken windows, unsecure crawl spaces, significant deterioration of accessory building, evidence of mold, and sanitary conditions was also documented. Subsequent review confirmed that the property does not have active water or utility service, so there's no heat, there's no water there. The water's been shut off since 2024. So, and the dwelling is not capable of being adequately heated as a result of the structure does not meet the minimum requirements for safe human occupancy. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Hiscock. Any more comments or discussion with respect to Councillor Hiscock's resolution on number 4 Coronation Street? Councillor Hollett, go ahead.
Mayor first.
Deputy Mayor Bennett, go ahead.
No, appointed to.
Okay. No, I just wanted to point out that this has been, like I said, has been a long going, and it's nice to see that the town is being proactive and is actually making some headway into implementing our policies and making sure that this is being looked at. And hopefully a resolution comes quick, because it has been, like I said, it's, I'm sure the neighborhood is going to be relieved that there is some progress in this.
I know the neighborhood will be relieved, and certainly our hands are tied with respect to, we know of derelict properties such as this one all around town, but there's a process we got to follow. It's timely, probably takes a month or 6 weeks or longer, probably 3 months to come to this point. But we will do 4 Coronation Street, and then we'll move on to the next one in the coming weeks. So I got a mover and a seconder on Councillor Hiscock's resolution. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution's carried. We'll move on now to item number 10.1, and I'll call on Councillor Cody, please.
Thank you, Mayor. There's a decision required this evening to approve the amount of borrowing related to 2025 capital purchases. Whereas under Section 100 of the Towns and Local Service Districts Act of the Province of Newfoundland and Labrador, subject to the approval of the Minister, Council may borrow monies and issue securities for the repayment of monies borrowed. And whereas it is deemed necessary to borrow in addition to existing credit facilities the amount of $1,815,423 in relation to 2025 capital and land purchases as per the attached schedule. And therefore be it resolved that Council borrow this amount from CIBC Chartered Bank in Grand Falls-Windsor, and that this amount be borrowed over a 2-year term with a 15-year amortization period, and that the Mayor and Director of Corporate Services be authorized to designate and execute said loan pertaining to this resolution. I recommend that we proceed with the approval to borrow, to submit for ministerial approval.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Cody. Can I get a seconder? Councillor Hiscock, thank you. Further discussion on the resolution. Councillor Cody, please.
So each year there is amount borrowed that covers the excess funds required for capital purchases. And this is a normal part of the municipal operation and is normally offset by any operating surplus that's available. For 2025, the revised budget projects revenue to be $24,047,234 and expenses to be $22,304,505. This leaves a surplus of $1,742,729. This amount is applied against total capital expenditures and purchases of land totaling $558,152 and $1,815,423 in required borrowing. A portion of this loan will be drawn down now, while the remaining will be drawn later once 2025 surplus is finalized. Based on the original budget, the expected borrowing was $4.2 million, and actual borrowing therefore will be significantly lower. This is due to a combination of a higher surplus than budgeted, in addition to less capital work being completed compared to the budget. And I just wanted to let the public know that Schedule A, those expenses, commercial land purchased on Cone Place, $1,079,129. A new loader, $567,316, and a new backhoe totaling $168,978 for a total of $1,815,423.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Cody, for that. Any more discussion on the borrowing by the town of Grand Falls-Windsor with Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, or comments? Councillor Cody explained it very well. There being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is carried. Moving on to item number 10.2, the disbursement report. Councillor Cody, please.
Thank you again, Mayor. So the summary of disbursements for council review. The information notice prepared by staff and reviewed by council, which provides a summary of disbursements over $1,000 as of December 31st, 2025, in the amount of $889,515.20. Also disclosed on the report are pre-authorized payments of $526,150.72 and invoices under $1,000 in the amount of $45,374,017. So the town's disbursements for this period reflect necessary operational costs, capital commitments, and community investments, in addition to payments relating to partnerships with other government agencies. And as always, management will continue to monitor expenses and report disbursements at future meetings.
Thank you, Councillor Cody. Any comments, discussion, or questions with respect to the disbursement report? There being none, we'll move on to item number 10.3, the taxation receivable analysis.
Thank you. The summary of taxation receivables for council review. This information notice prepared by staff and again reviewed by council, which provides a summary of taxation receivables as of December 31st, 2025. The total taxation receivables amount to $2,646,628.91, which is an increase of $320,338.77, or 13.77% compared to the previous year. The accounts receivable aging shows that 52% of the receivables are current, with the remaining amounts spread across 1, 2, and 3+ years. Monthly collections for December 2025 amounted to $643,372, which is 20% of the total accounts receivable. With new tax bills coming out now, it's important that residents ensure their balances are paid or that they are set up on a payment plan. You can contact the Town Hall at 489-0402, 0403, or 0404 with any questions on your tax bill. Management will continue to monitor taxation receivables and report updates at future meetings. Staff will also start planning on arrear sales for appropriate properties who owe tax balances as an added avenue for collection efforts for 2026.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Cody. Any comments or discussion with respect to the taxation receivable analysis? I'm sorry, go ahead, Councillor Hollett.
I just, I guess to clarify for the citizens, that this is what's outstanding, that the town is looking to collect. So I just wanted to make it clear, because sometimes when you kind of talk in our language, sometimes it doesn't translate to every citizen out there. So just wanted to point out that this is taxes that are owing to the town that we will be looking for.
We will collect too, at some point or another.
Thank you.
Yep. Councillor Cody.
I'll just elaborate. Yes, and like Councillor Hollett said, this is money that is owed to the town. This money goes towards providing our residents with services and amenities and buildings, and pays our staff and pays our own bills as well. So it's important that these taxes are collected. As mentioned, the 2026 tax bills are coming out. They may have already been received. If not, they will be soon. The discounts are in place. The seniors discount is still there. And of course, I think if you, the deadline to have your taxes paid is March 31st. So anything after March 31st, unless you're set up on a payment plan, you will be charged interest. And we have been hearing a lot about increases in light bills, which is causing additional strain on people being able to pay their bills. And I just want to say that, we have great sympathy in that, but it doesn't change the fact that we also have our own bills to pay and rely on this revenue to do so. So again, we will work with you. We'll do everything that we can to assist you if you are facing any types of hardship and are having difficulties paying your bills, because we do want you to be current, and we don't want you to incur any additional interest that could cause further hardship down the road. So please reach out to the town to set up those plans. Again, as soon as spring comes and we are able to do so again, there will be water shutoffs issued and carried out to encourage people to catch up on those bills. But in the meantime, if you have questions or if you need assistance, please reach out to the town and we will work with you the best that we can.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Cody, for those words. And we will work with you. The last thing the town of Grand Falls-Windsor wants to do is to shut off water on anybody. And, if it comes to that point, come down and see your representatives, Mr. Goss from the Finance Department, or some of his staff, and that can all be avoided. And just come down and see us. Okay, that concludes the agenda. So right now we'll move into new business. And leading off this evening will be Councillor Hiscock, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few items, Mayor. First off, I'd like to say big congratulations to our crew. All throughout Christmas, when we were home enjoying holidays with our families, our crews were out with our loaders and our trucks and everything, keeping the streets clear, and a great job that they did. And we had a bunch of new employees as well. I would like for our residents to know that we have some new employees and, of course, getting used to the equipment and plowing the streets, but they did a phenomenal job. And hats off to one and all for a great, great job under very, very difficult conditions, because 1 minute, Mayor, as you know, we had snow and then we had rain. And then we had snow again. So but a great job by one and all, and hats off to them. Also, with the snow, of course, the fire hydrants are getting buried. And as a result of that, I'd like for people probably to get out, if they can, if there's a hydrant, like in my situation, a hydrant's right in my front lawn, I'd keep it clean myself and my neighbor. But if you can keep a hydrant, it might be just a next door to you, whatever the case may be, keep it open, because we have great trained firefighters. They're not snow shovelers. So if we can, the quicker that they can access a hydrant in an emergency, the better it is. So I'd like people probably to adopt a fire hydrant if it means that. But just go out, and if you see one that's close to your home, and if you can, clean it out, please do so, right? Also, this past weekend, there was a hockey tournament at the Windsor Stadium, organized, I think it was by Mr. Rodney Mercer and crew. And I was talking to Rodney yesterday about it. It was a great event, and one of the things he told me is that the team left and went to St. Anthony. They were down from St. Anthony. When the coach got home, he phoned Mr. Mercer and told him he was very impressed with our staff. They were very hospitable and very mannerly, and great job that they did. He couldn't believe how clean the stadium was. So once again, Mr. Mayor, hats off to our staff for doing a fabulous job that a lot of the residents may not see this is going on. But when we have people coming from out of town and you see the fine work that our staff is doing, I think it does well for us, and they should definitely be commended for a great, great job. Also, Mr. Mayor, if I may, Exploits Hurricanes are hosting the provincial snowshoe competition this year. It's February 28th, and they need some volunteers. So if you can volunteer some hours for that event, and I'm going to tell you, it's the best hours you can ever put in, as Councillor Feener knows quite well, and Mr. Mayor, you know. With the Special Olympians, they're just a phenomenal group of individuals. Colleen Ryan, of course, is the coordinator here with Exploits Hurricanes. You can reach her at 486-6653. If you can come out and, like I said, do some volunteering, it's just going to be a phenomenal time. And also, Valentine's for Veterans. It's going to be this Saturday, January 24th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and it's from Beaumont Hamel Armories, and it's conjunction with B Company's open house. And it's going to have open house, all ages, card-making materials are provided, snacks, water, drop-in, no registration, open to all ages. Also, B Company are going to have military vehicles and equipment on display. So it's great to look at that and see that. Also, the Valentines that are created will be distributed to the veterans around here. Excess ones will be sent to the Department of Veteran Affairs in Ottawa, and they will be distributed to veterans in Canada. So it's going to be a great thing. If you want to, come out to the Armories Saturday from 10 until 2. It's going to be a great day. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Hiscock, for that. And just to get back to your point on the minor hockey tournament at Windsor Stadium, we hear that all the time from people from out of town, how impressed they are with the facility, with the cleanliness of the facilities, and with the good time they have in Grand Falls, Windsor every time they come for a hockey tournament. So I'd like just to reiterate that and thank our staff as well. Councillor Hollett, please.
Thank you. Councillor Hiscock took a couple of mine, so. But in regard to the snow clearing, I wanted to commend the staff, the public works staff, on an incredible job, and the conditions and the timing. I mean, it was probably the worst timing ever, and I mean, it seemed like we had the most snow we've had in the last 2 to 3 years, and it happened during our Christmas holiday season. So I want to just say thank you to those and their families that had to do without their family members while they were out clearing the snow to make everyone else safe and getting to their families. So I really wanted to send extend thank you to those. Even though the snow clearing was incredible, they did a fabulous job, there are still some concerns in regards to citizens contacting me personally in regards to narrow streets. Like there's a lot of the narrow streets, and there are two ways, but sometimes it's hard. It's difficult for two vehicles to pass without actually having to pull into someone's driveway, and it's happening a lot, I guess. North side of town has a lot of these small, narrow streets. So that was a concern, and, you know, that's something I'm hoping that we will be looking at in regards to our snow clearing policy, because that was updated, I think, the last time was 2020. And we've had a lot of new equipment since then. So I'm hoping that council is going to actually look at reviewing the snow clearing policy that we have in place and to, you know, identify some of these areas. In regards to the sidewalks, we did have concerns in regard to sidewalks as well, even though they were doing an incredible job. But hopefully we budgeted for a new sidewalk blower. So hopefully that'll alleviate those issues. And I just want to ask Nelson if he's had any idea when we will be getting that snow blower.
We just recently got quotes this week finalized, so they said the delivery time could be 45 days plus.
Oh, wow, that's a lot faster than I thought. And in regards to potholes, like you said, we're having the snow and the rain, so I just want to let citizens know that if they see potholes, to identify the location and call the Public Works Department and let us know so that we can deal with them. Because if we don't always know about them, we can't really address them.
No, that's right.
So we look to the public to let us know that. And that's it for me this evening. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Hollett. And with respect to the snow clearing, with the amount of snow we had, obviously it took a little longer than normal. And we had all gotten some calls, I guess, on the snow clearing and the sidewalks and that kind of stuff. But the more snow we have, the longer it takes to get to those areas. With the amount of snow we had and the back-to-back storms, we actually had to send a loader to do some sidewalks as the sidewalk blowers couldn't get through, which is strange, but that was the amount of snow we had. And with, like Councillor Jane said, the amount of rain we had on top of it, then snow again, or Councillor Hiscock, I'm sorry. It just took a little longer this time, and but hats off to the guys, did a fantastic job. Councillor Feener, please.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I only got one issue tonight, dear guys, relating to the disability vehicle that we had discussed earlier. I had a conversation with the Lions Club, and they would like, whether it's us ourselves or some local group who was going to try and raise the funds to get this disability bus, the Lions Club would really like to come on board and help with any fundraising.
That's great news, Councillor Feener, to have the Lions Club on side with their accessibility bus that we intend to have in Grand Falls-Windsor sooner than later, I hope. So that's great news, and I expect we'll apply for funding for the accessibility bus and probably meet with our minister to see what might be available on that.
Well, the direction from council was to ask staff to investigate the options for funding and the mechanisms that are available to manage a bus when you get it, and how the operations of that goes, right, with respect to ownership and maintenance and scheduling, so that it's it's used for the purpose that council wants it to be, and that's assuming council makes a decision, because we have to bring those findings back, and then so council has to make that future decision to get a bus, and if it's for disability or maybe it's for broader use, I don't know. So, we have to have those discussions, and that would be based on information that we gather for you. And we have yet to do that because we're also very taxed.
Right. Well, we will do it in the next couple of weeks, I suspect, have a conversation about that and get the ball moving on that. Grand Falls-Windsor is in desperate need of an accessibility bus. Other communities got them throughout the island. And I know that when it's all said and done, we'll have that bus, and it'll be a big help to the citizens of Grand Falls-Windsor who have trouble with accessibility. Deputy Mayor Bennett, please.
Thank you, Mayor. First thing I'd like to talk about is a young fellow by the name of Liam Hicks. He reffed 3 games of hockey on Saturday, and then the Stephenville Jets came in town, and he was supposed to back up their goalie, and their goalie never showed up because of flights, of course. So Liam started the game on Saturday night for the Jets. And he's done a tremendous job. He had about 60 shots on him, and this young fellow was amazing. So, and he did ref 3 games on Saturday. So, as a matter of fact, he made the NTV News tonight. And when the game was over, it was nice to see that both teams came out and cheered him on. That was nice to see. Second thing now, I don't know if anybody got the news on me lately. It's it's pretty exciting. About 3.5 months ago, I sent my cancer cells, my blood work to a company in Boston to see if I had any genetic mutations. So my oncologist was thinking about 10 to 15 or maybe even 20 mutations that we can work with, but I only came back with one. So about a week and a half ago, my oncologist asked me would I mind to send it to Dr. Moore, who's my oncologist in Toronto, who deals with trials. And Monday I got a phone call from him. He wanted to meet me on Thursday. So Thursday, I was aboard of a plane to fly to Ottawa with my son for a hockey game, and the call came through on my phone. I never had earbuds to go in, so we just had to listen to the call. And Dr. Moore, he had a big smile on his face when he talked to me, and I knew it was going to be something good. So what he did, he said, the genetic mutation I have is usually in skin cancer, melanoma, but I don't have skin cancer. But he has 2 pills that I can take, and it will stop my cancer in its tracks. And it's pretty special because as soon as that happened, everybody on the plane started cheering for me, of course. I mean, I was just blown away. And I told my son if the door was still open on the plane, I would have gotten off and went home to give my wife a hug. But we did go to Ottawa. Montreal won in overtime. It's even better again. But I'm looking forward now. I'm looking so forward now and getting his medications up from the U.S. and start taking them so I can. And the doctor told me, he said they expect to live a much longer life. So hopefully that works out well. And he told me, he says it's a 98% success rate with this drug, and with the mutation that I have, it's less than 2% of pancreatic patients can avail of this. So, and he said he's only seen 2 other cases in Canada, and he said that they had 100% success rate for the 2 patients. So I'm hoping that that's going to work out well for me, and I'm sure it will. A little bit of sadder news. Lost a friend this week, Tim Power, and Tim went through a hard battle. And you know, when you go through chemo, nobody knows. Nobody knows. When you see somebody like myself tonight, like you don't even look sick, but you don't see me when I'm doing my chemo. And as a matter of fact, I don't do no more chemo. I'm finished. So when I seen Tim as much as he went through, and it's hell that what you go through. And I was at the hospital one morning, going in to get my blood work to do my chemo the next day, and I met Tim in the lobby. And we chatted for about 15 minutes. And when I was finished up, I went down to give him a hug, and we whispered to each other, we'll pray for each other every day, and we have. So, you know, it's a tough time, and him being a employee of the town of Grand Falls-Windsor, it makes it even harder here because he was such a great guy, And, you know, so Wendy, Brett, Blake, Donna, and Clancy, you know, if you speak about him every day, he's not going to be too far away from you. He won't be too far. So God bless each one of you, and just speak about him often. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Councillor. Deputy Mayor Bennett, sorry. And I know that this is good news for your cancer diagnosis too, and we're all happy to hear that. And with respect to Tim Power, professional, good communicator, his fellow employees loved him, and he certainly will be missed. Councillor Coley, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Tomorrow is Bell Let's Talk Day, January 21st. The theme tomorrow is Taking a Moment for Mental Health. I just wanted to highlight one of the events. Terry Lynn with the Y2C sent me some information just a little while ago. So the flag raising is happening here at the Town Hall tomorrow at 4 p.m. And they are also having an open house at the Y2C on Bond Street from 6:30 to 8 p.m. tomorrow. And she says, you know, take a moment for yourself to go out and enjoy that. They have some snacks. They'll have a chat with everyone out there, some refreshments, and just, you know, a moment to kind of just be together, relax, not think about what's going on in the outside, just take a pause and enjoy each other. So I encourage people to take advantage of that at the Y2C tomorrow from 6:30 to 8 p.m. The Exploits Valley High have announced that they are doing the high school musical version of Grease. That will happen in May, and the tickets are going to be going on sale early in February, I believe, so keep your eye out for that. I will remind again at our next council meeting when I get more details. But the school just always does such a fantastic job and such a wonderful time in recognizing the talent in this community, and especially at the school level. So certainly keep your eyes open for that information. That'll be happening at the Gordon Pinsent Center for the Arts. And make sure you get tickets early because they always sell out very, very quickly. They only do like 3 or 4 shows. So it's great to get out and support. And I know snow clearing has been talked about a few times here this evening, and will be talked about lots more, I'm sure, as we move through what is turning out to be a yucky winter, in my opinion anyway. I had to buy another shovel today. I already got one worn out. But anyways, I just want to touch on the business community. And I know it's very difficult trying to keep your lots cleared for your patrons and visitors to your businesses. But I notice a lot that the operators are pushing the snow to the front of the parking lots, which is causing spillage out into our roadways. And a lot of our roadways with double lanes and whatnot, we're losing a portion of the inside lanes because the snow is piled up and spilling out into the lanes. And by the time, we probably already cleared that area, because a lot of the operators, business operators are clearing overnight so that they'll have it ready. So most likely we've already gone those paths, so the spillage goes out and then it doesn't get cleared up until we either make a special run to go out and clear it up, either using the large blower or sending out our equipment to move that snow again. It's dangerous because motorists are having to stop in lanes or move out into the middle lanes in order to get around that snow. So I would just encourage our business community to speak to the operators, see if there's, another way, if they can push to the back of the buildings or to the sides, or just be extra cautious. In some instances, there may be vacant lots, they can truck it, and dispose of it safely so that it doesn't become a hindrance. And if they have any questions or comments or feedback for us, I would encourage them to reach out to us, councillors, or to the Public Works Department on some of the issues that they're facing, or why this is happening, or if we can help assist them in providing some information or alternate ways that they can do this that might help everyone involved. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
Councillor James, please.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. Before I get into the little article I have here, again, I will piggyback on the compliments to our snow clearing group. That it was a phenomenal job. And also to the people that are responsible for trying to get out there as quickly as they can to fix the potholes around the town. I think they're doing an incredible job. But a quick funny story, I had a phone call last week from a constituent out around the car. They told me there was a bunch of potholes out around the Caribou Road area. So they told me where it was, so I drove out and went up the road. And I didn't find no pothole. So I said, all right, so I'll do it again. So I went back, I went up again, and I couldn't find it. So I called the constituent. I said, are you kidding me or what? No, Davey, I'm telling you. So anyway, I said, I went up the third time. I said, all right, so I went down to Public Works. And I ran into the crowd in Public Works, and I told them, I said, they're telling me there's a pothole up on Caribou Road, Country Road. I can't find it, but can you check it out? Anyway, about 10 o'clock the next morning, the constituent called me back and thanked me for the pothole being fixed. So I thank you for that, Public Works. Something of interest was brought to my attention just a short while ago. 4 students from Grand Falls-Windsor were welcomed into the School of Pharmacy at the White Coat Ceremony at Memorial University on January 15th, 2026. For those of us, including me, who don't know what the White Coat Ceremony is, what it's about, it is an initiation for students to get into the pharmacy faculty. Testing and programming is extremely challenging, and it's quite difficult to get accepted to this program. The induction of the class of 2030, which is the year that this particular group will graduate into the profession of pharmacy, took place at the main auditorium at the Health Sciences Complex. Again, 4 students from Grand Falls-Windsor have been accepted out of a class of only 48. Those young students include Emily Bautista, Claire Bombas, Amber Chippett, and Bethany Roberts. Congratulations to keep doing your families in Grand Falls-Windsor proud. So they will graduate in 2030. And it's funny, I was talking to Councillor Cody just before this, and I asked her how her son Isaac was doing. And she said, well, he's graduating from pharmacy in 2029. So way to go, Isaac. So thank you, Mayor Brown.
Thank you, Councillor James, for that. And certainly we're proud of all the young people in Grand Falls-Windsor, and they move on to do so well, each and every one of them. Just before we wrap up, there are unfortunately 3 more passings, significant passings of people in Grand Falls-Windsor over the last couple of weeks. The first being Dave Hiscock, an employee of the town of Grand Falls-Windsor for 30 years, and a great employee at that. And if you knew Dave and you happened to buy him, as I have since I've been on council, he certainly didn't let you know where you stood, and wasn't shy to give his opinion, but in a very respectful way as well. And Dave did respect everybody, and like I said, a valued employee of the town of Grand Falls-Windsor for some 30 years. So our condolences to his son David and his wife Paula and the family, and I know he will be missed. And just recently we lost a councillor from the former town of Windsor, in Ed Dormady. Councillor Ed Dormady was a councillor in the former town of Windsor in his day, and contributed great to the community all his life, and did a lot of work for not just for the council he was on, but for the community. He was involved in a lot of different areas of the community, and certainly made a significant difference. So our condolences to his wife Marina, and his sons David and Brian, and his daughter Kathy, and their families, and we know Mr. Dormady will be missed as well. And finally, Frank Howard, a predominant business person in Grand Falls-Windsor for over 50 years, I suspect. A very successful business person. Most people will recognize Mr. Howard with the Riverview Chabos, and owned that operation for quite some time. And I can't imagine the number of people that worked for Frank Howard over the years. Like I said, he's been in business for 50 years. Very respected in the community, not just in the car business, he had other business interests as well, and very successful in all of them. And certainly Frank will be missed, and left a legacy for the people of Grand Falls-Windsor as well. So his wife Thelma and his children Michelle, Leslie, and Paul, our sincere condolences, and Frank will be missed for sure. And 2 other items I have. This Friday, I think, Councillor Hiscock, is the pea soup sale at the 50 Plus Club. This Friday coming, so if anybody wants to take advantage of that, you go up around noon and you get yourself a bowl of pea soup and sit down and have a nice chat, warm up. We got some cold days coming up, so people should take advantage of that. And our own Winterlude is coming up, I think, Mr. Mercer, early in February, and lots of events for people to take part in, from infants to youth to families and to our seniors as well. Events for everybody, and all the information is on our Facebook page, and we look forward to the people of Grand Falls-Windsor taking part in that. Okay, that's all I had. Anybody else got anything? Councillor James.
Yeah, I didn't know that Ed Dormady passed either, and just want to tell a quick story. Not so long ago, I was down the Riverside Drive and I ran into Ed. I've known him since I've been a boy. And he was telling me about his years in council, and he was wondering if there was any pictures around with his council with the town of Windsor. So we scanned this place. There was one here. I spoke to former Mayor Blackmore. He gave me a lead which didn't really pan out. So I went down to the Heritage Society and I spoke to the people down there, and they went and did their magic. And I got a call a couple days later, and they called me back and gave me 3 pictures. One was the Windsor Council, I think it was in '66, I could be wrong. And that was the whole council, and the other picture was just Ed as a very young man. He was like 27 years old, had the suit on, he had a little blurb here on him, And then they had another picture over here about him as well. And he had said to me at Riverside, and I spoke to you, Mayor Brown, about this, and he had said his grandchildren were coming home and he wanted to show them this. So I went out and bought it out to him, and I handed it to him. And he got so emotional in his porch, and he said, Davey, he said, I can't thank you enough. So you know how much this means to me. And that's how important and how those little things can help, and how important and how needed the Heritage Society is in this town. Because he was so grateful for that, and I was really overwhelmed, and I did take the opportunity not much later to go back to the Heritage Society and to thank them all and reiterate that story to them. So sad, but I'm glad that he got that little bit that he looked for, and God bless Ed Dormany and the passing of the other people. Thank you, Mayor Brown.
Thank you, Councillor James. Anybody else got anything for tonight? Okay, can I give a motion to adjourn, please? Deputy Mayor Bennett, second by Councillor Hollett. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.